Now we will see fuel system in the diesel engine. Okay, so what are the functions of fuel system? Basic objective of any fuel system is to control the quantity of the fuel to each cylinder. So it should control the quantity. Then to ensure that the fuel is delivered at correct time. Okay, why? You will ask me why correct time and why the correct quantity. Okay, now here you are seeing the fuel injector. We have seen 4 stroke. Okay, first is suction, then compression, then air heats up, and at the same time when air is heating up till flashing point of the fuel, this fuel injector will spray the fuel. Okay, see, if more fuel quantity, first question is quantity, if more fuel is injected, what will happen? The blast will happen, but it was not required that much amount of fuel. Okay, so wastage of fuel will happen. Okay, if it depends on the size of the piston. Okay, cc, have you observed the bikes? If you want to purchase a bike, what you check? 100 cc, 150 cc, 500 cc. Harley Davidson 1200 cc. Okay, that is cubic centimeter. The size of this cylinder is called cc. So on this cc, the fuel quantity is dependent. Okay, for a small thing or small cc, we cannot push the more quantity of fuel. That is why to control the fuel quantity. Now, the fuel is delivered at correct time. This is also another question. Let us say if compression stroke is happening and it has come till this end, not TDC, not till last, what will happen? Half stroke will happen because fuel will blast. See, if you provide the fuel before its time, it will blast early and half stroke will happen. We will not get full power stroke. Okay, otherwise sometimes even this blast will also not happen. So it is very important that fuel is injected at correct time. Okay, then to deliver the fuel in correct condition, okay, it should be the right condition. Okay, what? It should be clean and at the proper temperature. If fuel is heated, we have seen the blast will happen early and we will have half the stroke. Okay, then to govern the engine speed, see, entire engine's operation is dependent on this fuel supply. Okay, then methods to achieve these objectives are different. Okay, now see, once the diesel engine is started, it will never stop. I'm telling again, it will never stop till when? Till you stop this fuel supply. Because these blasts we have seen at 2000 rpm, how many blasts? 4,000 blasts are happening in 1 minute. So this blast will keep on happening. It will never stop till you stop this fuel supply. No any other brake will stop this engine. It will break the brakes, but it will not stop. The only way to stop the diesel engine is to stop the fuel supply. That's it. Okay, you cannot stop the diesel engine once it is fired. Okay, now pressure is controlled by fuel pump. We wanted to control the pressure, so what? It controls the pressure fuel pump. This is the fuel pump. And okay, time is controlled by injector, plunger and engine speed. Time, if speed is more, the fuel supply should happen at that speed. It should catch up the engine speed. Otherwise what will happen? You will get half of the power strokes and half will be like very minimal or half the strokes. Okay, it will not give you proper power. So size is dependent on the injector. Okay, the injector we have seen like this injector in previous slide, this injector, the size is depend on the injector. PT, pressure and time system, should be at the right pressure and at the right time. Okay, now components in the PT fuel system, pressure, time. Okay, first is fuel tank. We know fuel tank, for our cars also fuel tank is important. Then float tank. Now you will ask me, what is float tank? Okay, small float tank is there inside the fuel tank, so that we will come to know the level. It is always floating on the surface of the fuel. So it will indicate, the float will indicate the level of the fuel. So that is why float tank. Then suction line, which will suck the diesel or fuel. Fuel filter, water separator, we will see this in detail in next slides. Then PT pump, pressure time pump. Then EFC, governor, electronic fuel controller. Okay, electronic device which will control the fuel supply or govern it. Then fuel manifold and injectors, we will see how it is. Okay, see, this is a fuel tank. Okay, in this fuel float will be there, it is not shown here. Okay, then the fuel, see, fuel is sucked from the bottom of the tank, keeping some distance. We will see how much distance we need to keep. We should not put it like till the end or bottom of the tank, because it will suck the dirt. Okay, so some distance should be maintained, not till at the bottom. Then it is sucking fuel isolation valve. Okay, then it is going to the primary or water separating fuel filter, water separator. We will see water separator in detail. Then it is going to the secondary fine filter, very fine filter. Okay, then after that, these are two filters. After that, it is going to the fuel injector pump. Okay, fuel injector pump. Then we see these manifolds, fuel manifolds we have seen, and these are the fuel injectors. 1, 2, 3, 4 cylinder diesel engine or petrol engine. High pressure fuel pipes. Okay, these are the metal pipes. Okay, it can sustain at high temperatures. The metal is of very good quality. Then return, maximum of the fuel returns to the tank. Why? We will see. Okay, then fuel tank or float tank, water separator, fuel filter, PT pump, SD valve, fuel manifold, injectors, return to tank. Combustion chamber, 80%. Okay, combustion chamber is there, we have seen in the previous lectures, combustion chamber. Then 80% of the fuel returns back to the tank. Surprising, right? 80%. Only 20% fuel will go through the injectors to the pistons. 80% will come back through this red line to the tank. Now you will ask me why? Because we need to push. See, it is a high pressure system. The piston system is very high pressure. See, first is suction stroke, then it is pressurizing the air. Okay, pressurizing the air, and then that air is getting heated. So at the high pressure, if you want to spray the fuel, what is required? High pressure is required, guys. And if you want high pressure, what you will do? You will have bigger pipe size, and you will put a very small hole at the end, and that is how we will create the high pressure funnel type. Okay, funnel type, this injector, and that is the reason entire fuel will not go inside. Rest of the fuel will come back to the tank. Okay, very small puncture at the tip of the fuel injector. Okay, that is the reason maximum of the fuel will come back. Again, if fuel stays there for longer time, it will also heat up. That is why we should keep on circulating it, so that its heat is again dissipated in the tank. Okay, even if you see, tank also gets heated. Just observe, when you are riding the bike, even tank's temperature also goes up, because fuel comes back. it is going to the engine and it is coming back, heated fuel. Okay, that is the reason you find your tank heated when you go on a longer ride. Okay, next is fuel tank suction line, pickup point 3/4 inches above bottom. I told you 3/4 inches above bottom, otherwise it will suck the dirt. That is why we should not touch the suction pipe should not touch the bottom. Then to prevent the suction of dust or sediments, minimum half inches or number 10 hose for maximum supply. This is the dimension of the hose which is sucking the fuel. Then half inches. Then flexible on automotive applications. Okay, depends on the applications. A bigger truck or bigger engine, obviously this size will go up. It will go up. Then vent, necessary to breathe during filling, expansion, cooling. 1/8 ID normal. This is the size of the vent. See, in the fuel we need vent. If you see, this is a vent. Why vent is required? When you are filling fuel, what is there inside the fuel? It will not be empty, right? Air will be there. That air should come out. That is why this vent. Okay. And whenever there is heat, it is heating up, then it will expand. So for that expansion, and when it cools down, it will contract the fuel. The property of any liquid. Okay, when it is heated, it will expand. When it is cooled down, it will contract. So to facilitate that contraction and expansion, the air should take its place, the volume. That is why this fuel vent is required, and its dimension is 1/8 ID normal. Then drain wall. At the lowest part position, the fuel tank drain every morning to remove the sediments and water. So to remove the sediments or water, we need to drain it every day, every morning. Okay. Next, nowadays this thing happens automatically. We have very automatic cars, okay, or engines. Now water separator. So all parts of pump or injector lubricated by diesel only. There is no other lubricant used. Diesel will lubricate all the parts. Then fuel is given circular motion in this water separator. Water is collected at the bottom with centrifugal force, must be drained periodically. Now we will see. You will ask me how, right? That question is important. See, here this is a centrifuge. If there are any particles inside the fuel, those particles will be heavier than fuel, right? Fuel is light. Then even water is heavy. What happens if you tie some stone on the string, and if you try to rotate, what will happen? It will pull you away from the center. That is called centrifugal force. Center, it is pulling the center. The same way, if you create the centrifugal force, the heaviest object will go till wall of this fuel or separator, water separator. Then from wall it will come down. From both the sides it will come down. The particles, contamination and water, it will come down and it will accumulate here. And that is why this centrifugal action will help to clean. And it is trapped here, and again it is drained down. Then if you observe from where, see, it is drained down. From here fuel is entering from the center. Then centrifugal action is there, and all the heavy water and other particles will go down, and fuel then sucked from here. See, here again we have a kind of diaphragm or separator kind of thing. The fuel which is lighter will go here, and from here it will go out. At the topmost portion, we will have only fuel. All the heavy particles, because of centrifugal force, will come down. Okay, and that is how it is separated from the particles as well as water. This is a function of water separator. Okay, now fuel filter. After water separator, we have a fuel filter. We have seen that. Okay, very fine fuel filter. So it will remove the foreign material from fuel. So after centrifugal action, still some foreign material will be there, particles will be there. Those will be filtered out by this filter, okay, before entering into fuel pump. Okay, secondary filter. Paper element forms the barrier flow from out to in. See, if you see, flow is from outside to in, and these are the paper particles. It will, all the particles will stuck on the paper, and only liquid part will go in, liquid oil or fuel will go in, and then it goes out. Okay, from outer side it is entering, and from inner side it is going up. That's how this cleaning process or filtration process happens. Normal change period is 300 hours as guidelines. To change this filter after 300 hours of running of diesel engine, you should change this fuel filter. Okay, vacuum reading can be checked before and after fuel filter. Okay, see, there is a vacuum reading, vacuum indicator. Okay, how much vacuum it is creating. It is 3 inches to 4 inches of Hg for newer filters, and for if it goes up to 8 inches vacuum, then it should be changed. Okay, how to check? You need to put a vacuum pump, or the arrangement is already there, vacuum pump here, and from here you need to suck it. See, the pressure depends on the contamination accumulated on this paper. If contamination is more, it will not let out that air to come out. It will not let it out to come out. So if pressure goes up to 8 inches of Hg, you need to change this. So you need to check by the vacuum pump if proper pressure is coming out, vacuum indicator rather. Okay, next, fuel filter. Puncture and scrap old element to avoid misuse. When you have replaced the fuel filter, you need to puncture it or destroy it. Okay, so that it will not be used again. Otherwise, what happens? Because of negligence or sometimes by intention, few people try to use the used one because it goes inside. We are not able to identify it when it is closed, or rather we will not even open the fuel filter to check whether he has really changed it or not. Okay, so to avoid accidental means using the old or by intention, this should be destroyed properly and thrown out from the site. Okay, now you have replaced the filter. Fill the new filter with clean diesel while replacement. We need to fill it so that that paper will get proper, what do you get it, viscosity and everything. It will adjust in that fuel, and then fill it, and then put it in the engine or in its place, replacement. Do not over tight to avoid distortion of filter. Do not over tight, otherwise what will happen? It has a paper element, it will be distorted, so its efficiency or its life will go bad. Okay,